Yes guys, and welcome back to a brand new video guys, and in today's video guys we are going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, Villarreal guys, at home at Old Trafford guys, in match day 2 in the Champions League guys. And yes guys, let's get straight to today's video. So we made 5 changes for our last game against Young Boys. Talking about the starting 11, so we started with De Gea, Dalot, Lindelof, Varane, Telles, Pogba, McTominay, Greenwood, Fernandes, Sancho and Ronaldo. Getting into the overreaction now. Yes, get in. Ronaldo hits injury time winner for Man United. Ronaldo scores in 95th minute as Man United beat Villarreal. Ronaldo, you beauty. CR7 United's hero. Viva Ronaldo, what a dramatic ending. We have finally beaten Villarreal in the Champions League. Take that, Villarreal, after the Europa League final as well. We didn't play well, but I'll take that. Massive 3 points. When Ollie's under pressure, he delivers. What a win, what a result. We needed that. We were lucky to win that tonight. Individual brilliance yet again. We kept playing the long ball. As soon as we scored, we had momentum. We took control of the second half. Second half FC. Ollie was waiting for a moment. De Gea kept us in the game. Ronaldo barely got any service. Villarreal were knackered. Villarreal will feel like they've been hard done by. Good reaction in the second half. We didn't create a lot of chances. We stayed patient. We took our chances. Let's build on this now. De Gea was world class. Telles, take a bow. What a goal it was. The midfield at times was frustrating. It was a tough game. We got there in the end. I'll take that any day of the week. We know we can perform better. Where's the Ollie out haters now? First half not good enough. Second half better. Overall okay performance. Anyway guys, let's get straight into today's video. What did I make of the performance? It was not a good performance to me. I think it was an awful, dreadful, shocking performance by United. Don't get me wrong. But I think overall, I think it was an okay performance. I don't think it was one of the best, obviously. When you look at the performance as a whole, I think we know we can perform better than that against Villarreal. I think, obviously, if we perform like that against Atalanta in the next game, I think Atalanta would have beaten us the way how they play. I think that's a let-off, to be honest, and I think that's a let-off not only just for the manager but for the players as well, because that is a massive let-off. We got lucky, didn't we? Even Ollie said that as well in his press conference after the game as well. He said we got lucky. It's a performance to forget, because at the end of the day, yes, we still got the win, yes, it's fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's not a good performance because we know we can perform better than that. Overall, not a good performance by the players. They need to wake up after that. Not a great performance by United. It's one of them. You can still play poorly and still get the win. Sometimes you don't have to play pretty to get the win. A win is a win. We got massively let off. We got so lucky in that game. Villarreal should have won that. I don't know how they didn't win it, but they'll feel like they've been hard done by. At the end of the day, we took our chances. They didn't. They were not clinical. We were clinical. But in sort of games like this, you got to stay patient. We stayed patient from start to finish. Brilliant. We executed it out really well. Towards the end of the game, we got very lucky. One last attack, Ronaldo scores. That was a brilliant goal. But the thing is, we know we can perform better against Villarreal. You know, they really gave us a game. We knew it was not going to be easy from the get-go anyway. We did make it tough for ourselves in the game though as well. In these sort of games, you've got to stay patient. You've got to take your chances and you've got to be clinical in front of goal. And that's what we did. They didn't take that. They'll feel they've been hard done by. In games like this, you get punished, and we punished Villarreal right at the end. They would have thought they would have done enough to win the game, but you're at home, you dictate it. You want to try and dictate the game. In certain moments in the game, I think the midfield was very frustrating. Moments FC, second half FC. Ollie was waiting for a moment, and it happened. He's waiting for other moments. We know we're not going to get away with this. You'll not get away with it all the time, because there are teams out there that can just go out there and exploit your weaknesses and they'll absolutely hammer you. If we don't perform up to scratch, I can obviously accept that some of those players that played were rusty, the likes of Dalot and Telles as well, even considering that Telles had an okay game, but was out of the mud a little bit as well. But I think towards the end of the game, Villarreal were knackered. We took advantage of that. They had a go in the first half. They were knackered. I thought we did really well in the first half. Well, why am I even saying that? Because we played really poorly at the end of the day. We know we can perform better, and we know it wasn't good enough. A win is a win. You take it all day, any day. A win is a win at the end of the day. Getting into the game now, I thought the first half had kicked off. Again, I think it was sort of a mixture of that Young Boys game, to be honest. Slow tempo, long ball FC. What we were trying to do a lot was, you know, I think you look at that lineup and you're probably thinking, you know, with McTominay and Pogba playing together, and obviously a lot of fans was happy that there was a change in the midfield, but we're pretty much playing as a 4-3-3 at the end of the day, and obviously with McTominay being the CDM. But any CDM and McTominay, if you look at two, and how Villarreal set out, they went with the 4-4-2. So they had two strikers up top, and you're asking McTominay to sort of get away from the strikers and then to play the ball to anyone as the CDM, because he's covering the defenders here. But what McTominay was always doing, he was stuck in between the two strikers and he wasn't moving away, so every single time. And I think what McTominay was obviously getting told was try and stay with the strikers and frustrate them, even though he's in between them both, when he really needed to drop back and then assess his options, go to either the side here or the side here. But if you play the ball through here, and I think if the strikers were hoping that he was going to do that, they can just, boom, go and attack it. So I think McTominay was frustrating because he was always stuck in between the two strikers, not pulling back here and not passing to side. So I think United tried matching Villarreal, but then they sort of changed their formation in the game. They went to a 4-4-2, we went with a 4-3-3, and did it work? I think it did in the end, but it wasn't pretty. But then yet again, and I think that was something that I picked up on in the game as well. And then obviously then you're playing, Pogba and Bruno. I think Bruno was out to the left, Pogba out to the right, and then you had Greenwood out to the right, Sancho to the left, and Ronaldo up top. So I thought Sancho had a real good go in the first half. There was not many players that played that well in the first half, to be honest. I thought, Villarreal had a better start. They were on the front foot, much better than us, created better chances than us. And then I thought we had very little in the game. Yes, we created some chances, but I think we were lucky to create some chances in that first half because we didn't look that great. Long ball FC, just no intensity, just no tempo to our game, just very lackluster. But yeah, we did get lucky in the game. But again, Ollie was waiting for a moment, and you're not going to get away with that with, Atalanta and young boys, because, you'd get away if you did that against a crap team at the end of the day. But were Villarreal crap? No, because they were the better team. But we just stayed patient and we hung in there to the end of the game, and we waited to the last minute pretty much to finish it with them. So yeah, it was a tough game. We got there in the end. First half wasn't that great. Thought the second half we come out, I thought, did we look any better at the beginning? Possibly not. And then obviously, I think Villarreal came out better on the front foot, created chances, and they obviously went and exploited the right side. Dalot being the weak defender there, they exploited it, made the running from behind, and Villarreal score 1-0, and then it's like and then the players really needed to kick up the backside, and then I think Emery would have felt done a stupid thing then, because then they scored the one goal. They thought they were going to seal the one goal then, because they got the goal. They thought they were going to frustrate us to the end of the game, but they couldn't really keep up the momentum and they couldn't really maintain the energy levels. And then I thought we did the business. We did what we needed to do. I thought, then obviously they then made their changes, and then once they made their changes, I think Emery would have felt like a bit of a plonker by doing that, by taking his striker off, because they'd scored as well. And then when we dominated a bit of possession, we got in the right areas, we got a free kick, then you're thinking, right, well, this is probably an opportunity to score on, and we did score it. What a goal by Tellez, we got one back. Then you're still thinking, I think we can still win this. I think the first hour in the game, we played really poorly, but then the last half an hour of that game, we controlled and dominated it, because Villarreal couldn't get into the game. They were tired, they were knackered, and we got forwards. I thought we had a go, created chances, got on the front foot, and then obviously then Ollie's waiting for another moment, and then in the last 9 minutes, Ronaldo on the last one attack, Lingard gets the assist, Ronaldo scores for 2-1. So yeah, brilliant game. Obviously for some of the players, obviously it was a game to bounce back on after a disappointing loss to Young Boys, and we needed to do what we needed to do in this game. And even though it wasn't a pretty performance, but we want to build on from this now and take that momentum into the next game against Atalanta, which will not be easy as well. What a dramatic ending towards the end. It looked like we were going to drop 2 points against a very good Villarreal side, but then Ronaldo, when you need him, scores in the 95th minute. United seal all 3 points. It must be satisfying considering we didn't play well. Oh yeah, it's satisfying that you get the whole 3 points, because at the end of the day it looked like we were going to be drawing this game against Villarreal. You're probably thinking, shit, yeah, we've dropped 2 points here, we played 2 games, we've only picked up a point, but it was a must-win game, so you're thinking, well, we have to win this game somehow, whether if we play it badly or really well. It's obviously satisfying to get the 3 points. Performance wasn't pretty, it was very disappointing, yeah, very lacklustre and not good enough in terms of poor football that we played. Didn't look convincing in games like that. When you don't look convincing, if you don't play pretty, you can still win at the end of the day. It was just a moment that Ollie was waiting for. He wanted one of his big players to stand up and say, come on, take your chance now. That was when Ronaldo stepped up to the plate, and I think that was hats off to Ollie making the right substitutions in the second half as well, by bringing on Lingard as well, who's been on some good run of form, has got the confidence, has got the momentum, good to turn around his confidence after what happened against Young Boys, and he obviously got the assist, sets up Ronaldo, and Ronaldo gets the goal. Villarreal, they'll feel like they didn't deserve to get beat, but when you don't take your chances, you get punished, and we punished them right at the end. It was massive 3 points for us because we needed 3 points on the board after a disappointing start against Young Boys. It's obviously satisfying to get the 3 points, obviously satisfying when you look at the performance, but it wasn't good enough. It was an okay performance in the end, but not a great one. But when you sort of analyse the game back, you'll probably say, yeah, it's a win at the end of the day. It's obviously satisfying that we won, and not good enough that we didn't perform well. We know we're going to have some tougher tests at the end of the day. So we've got a very difficult one against Atalanta coming up now as well. There were some fantastic individual performances, the likes of De Gea keeping us in the game, Bruno, Telles, both Cavani and Lingard making an impact off the bench. Oh yeah, there were some brilliant individual brilliances in there, definitely, for sure. You look at De Gea for the starters as well, kept us in the game. We had so many chances where the defence was just non-existent. De Gea just kept us in the game, made some brilliant, fantastic saves to keep us in the game. Obviously, to have a world-class defender in De Gea to save us like that was fantastic. It was brilliant in between the sticks. Probably not his fault. Concede the goal. It's a problem at the minute. We can't really keep a clean sheet at this moment in time as well. I thought De Gea had a fantastic game as well. I think Telles didn't really have a great game, but considering that he got the goal, I think he'll be on high confidence after scoring that goal. Should have started against Everton, and then obviously he gets the goal. He feels happy with himself, obviously having an injury as well, coming off injury as well. Didn't look that great. Carabao Cup game against West Ham, but he proved himself in this game when we needed him. Pogba didn't have a great game. I thought Sancho had another good game. I think he was only standout playing that first half, to be honest. Bruno tried, had a go as well. Thought he was really effective in the game as well when we needed him. He stepped up as well. You look at players like Lingard coming off the bench making an impact as well. We've got the assist for Ronaldo when you need Lingard to step up, and Cavani, his work rate on and off the ball, fantastic. Cavani was the one that made the run to make that second goal happen. All praise to Cavani, Lingard and Ronaldo to make that second goal happen at the end of the day. I think Ollie should be really blessed with these players that he's got. If he hadn't have got these players like Cavani, Ronaldo to get him out of the mud, he's one lucky manager, Ollie, to get these sort of players into the squad, definitely, for sure. But this is where your big players can step up in these big games and these big moments, and you need them to step up at the right time as well. Who is my man of the match? Oh, I think there's only one man to give this at the end of the day. I thought De Gea had a fantastic game, kept us in the game. Delo didn't have a great game. Lindelof could have done better. Varane saved us a couple of times in the game. I remember when they had a very good break. Villarreal blocked a good shot as well. Telles didn't have a great game, but he got a goal as well. Pogba didn't have a great game, but Tomine didn't have a great game. Fernandes had a really good game, I thought. Sancho had a really good go as well. People would give this Ronaldo for the last minute goal, but I'm not going to give this Ronaldo. Ronaldo had a good game, but it was the invisible man at the end of the day. Greenwood, I thought he had a go, tried, but non-existent as well. The only one man I'm going to give this, he kept us in the game from start to finish. And the one man that kept us in this game was De Gea. He kept us in the game and he won us the game. Kept us in the game from start to finish because that defence wasn't great. De Gea is my man of the match, definitely, for sure. How do we beat Atalanta? Now, obviously, coming into this game against Atalanta, this is not going to be an easy game. I'll tell you that for sure. Atalanta will go into this game high confidence, and I think they'll want to give us a game, definitely for sure. I think they know it's going to be difficult to come to Old Trafford and spoil the party. I've broke down Atalanta. I think Zabita very good at his hold up play, so that's going to obviously frustrate Varane and Lindelof as well. Or if Maguire's back for this one, then we'll obviously play Maguire and Varane together, which will be very vital in a game like this. Atalanta will want to frustrate us coming into this game, and they'll want to stop the holding midfielders getting forward as they play a 3 at the back, so they'll want to try and, when they're on the front foot, they'll want to try stop those 2 holding midfielders coming on the front foot. They're a very physical side as well, very good on the set pieces as well. They're very good and well drilled side. They're a very technical side as well. I think they'll want to press us, they'll go man for man, they'll want to push us around. They sort of play with a 3 up front as well, and because they have 2 in the pockets here, they have 1 up top, so they're pretty much playing with the formation is. Atalanta is a 3 at the back, but they'll definitely want to frustrate us, definitely for sure, because what they'll do, Atalanta, is the way how they set up is very good, to be honest, and I have to give it to them. So the way how they set out is a 3, 4, 2 and then a 1. They're pretty much playing with the front 3, but what they're doing is they'll get this midfield guy called Furler to come more central and to push up forward, and they'll have their other man, this 18 guy, can't say his name, and they're pretty much playing with a 3 up top, and then they'll have someone that's protecting behind the front 3, so they're going to frustrate us, definitely for sure, to obviously stop us getting onto the break. So they'll definitely want to frustrate us in this game, definitely give us a game. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be a difficult game, definitely for sure, coming into this game. I think United have got to have the desire to close them down. We've got to be brave in this game as well. Don't let Freuler get central, a very good player. We've got to be ready for the pressure. They'll want to mount that pressure early doors, and they'll want to get on the front foot. The main thing that we've got to do is pass the ball in the right areas to hurt them, and one of their weaknesses is the runs in from behind, and if we make those runs in from behind go and hurt Atalanta, that will probably help us go and beat them as well. We've got to get between the lines. If they lose the ball in the midfield, capitalise on the mistake as well. We must defend properly, and the defending has got to be organised at the back, so we need some type of structure at the back there as well. We need to defend properly on the set pieces. Their set pieces are very good on as well. We've got to be aware of the players in the pockets as well. They can go and hurt players as well, and they'll want to punish those defenders, definitely for sure. This will be a tactical game as well. I think this is a game where Ollie's got to get his right tactics as well. The fullbacks have got to be effective in the game. The decision making will be key in this game, definitely for sure. The right passing, the right movement as well, and when we should shoot, when we should not shoot. The basics, to be honest. We've got to be explosive on the break. We've got to test their goalkeeper, and they'll leave gaps as well in their defence as well. What we want to do is attack the spaces. Got to close them down and don't give them time and space on the ball. You've got to stretch them out as well, and we've got to play with a higher line, keep it tight and compact at the back. Full-backs need to put the crosses into the box. We've got to play with high intensity, high tempo, intent in our play with energy and purpose. We've got to be aggressive, ruthless. We need to take our chances. We've got to be clinical in front of goal. The end product has got to be there. And in games like this against Atalanta, we've got to perform well, and we've got to turn up to games like this. So we've got a game on our hands here against Atalanta. We're going to go in with the right mindset, the right mentality. Got to prepare well for this game, encounter, and we're going to give it everything. It's not going to be easy, it's going to be tough, but maybe when they feel that intensity that we put onto them, they'll probably feel it. So I think we can beat them. Mid-table, we should be beating a team like this as well. So we've got to prepare well for this encounter. Got to go in with the right mindset, the right mentality, and I think we can definitely beat them if on our A game, but we must perform well, and we've got to turn up to this game as well. And it's so important to turn up to games like this in a Champions League night against Atalanta as well, which I think will be a difficult test for our players as well. So we've got to really give it absolutely everything that we've got as well. And it's not going to be easy, it's going to be tough. And we've got to be ready as well. Get into the goals now. First goal, United win a free kick. Bruno sees Tellez on the edge of the box, and Tellez scores on a volley. What a strike it was. Take a bow, son. Second goal, fantastic work rate by Cavani. Cavani wins the ball back, holds off the Villarreal player, passed the ball to Bruno. Bruno passed the ball to Fred. Fred puts him across into the box. Ronaldo knocks it down to Lingard. Lingard sets up Ronaldo. Ronaldo shoots and scores for 2 on an angle as well, and that was the absolute winner. That gave us all 3 points. Getting to the stats now, possession for Man United it was 55.7%, and for Villarreal it was 44.3%. Goal for Man United it was 2, and for Villarreal it was 1. Total shots for Man United it was 14, and for Villarreal it was 15. Shots on target for Man United it was 7, and for Villarreal it was 7. Shot accuracy for Man United it was 50%, and Villarreal it was 46.7%. Shots inside the box for Man United it was 11, and for Villarreal it was 14. Shots outside the box for Man United it was 3, and for Villarreal it was 1. Total passes for Man United it was 554 passes, and for Villarreal it was 442 passes. Pass accuracy for Man United it was 90.3%, and for Villarreal it was 85.3%. Getting into the substitutions now, Sancho went off at Matic. Talk about Jadon's performance. Had some bright moments in the first half, but another blunt performance as Sancho was substituted again. I thought he had a really good go. I thought he was the best player in the first half, in my eyes. Pogba went off for Cavani. Talking about Paul's performance, attempted incisive passes and one almost resulted in an own goal. Otherwise, he did not gel with McTominay in the 2. Tellez went off for Fred. Talk about Alex's performance. Must be grateful. Villarreal targeted United's right hand side, but Tellez was suspect in most duels. Turned with a spectacular first United goal. Important block late on. Greenwood went off for Lingard. Talking about Mason's performance. Struggled at times and never truly got going. Drew a save from Gramilo Rulli at 1-1 and crossed magnificently for Edison Cavani to miss. Next up we've got Atalanta. Atalanta are first in our Champions League group. Coming into this game against Atalanta, but it's going to be a tough encounter. It's going to be not going to be easy. I think it's going to be difficult. But I think coming into this game against Atalanta, I think as soon as they feel that intensity and that tempo, the way how we play in the Premier League, I think that will get to them, depending on the energy levels as well. I think this is going to be tough against Atalanta. It's almost as we've got to go in with this game with confidence, high hopes as well. Ollie's got to somehow motivate these players for this game as well. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be definitely difficult, and we'll be ready for a tough encounter against Atalanta. They'll know it's going to be tough to come to Old Trafford and get a result, and we want to spoil the party for them. They'll really want to give it a go. We've got to perform. We've got to turn up for this one. We've got to prepare well. We've got to go in with the right mindset, the right mentality. Like I said then, press them back. The most important thing is have a quick start to this game. If you can have a quick start to a game like this and play on the front foot, high energy, high tempo, high intensity, aggressive, ruthless, get between the lines, and then go and create the chances. And then when you get the chances, you want to take your chances, and you got to score as well. It's going to be massive, this game. They're on 4 points, we're on 3 points. It's a close group, considering that it should be an easy group for us. I think coming into this game, we've got to be ready. We've got to prepare well. Got to go in with the right mindset, the right mentality. Got to go out there and we've got to do our thing. We must perform well, and we must turn up to this game against Atalanta. We cannot perform like what we did against Villarreal. A let-off. Not get that ever again. That was a let-off, definitely for sure. You'll not get that again. Atalanta are a different side. This will be a very tactical game as well. Ollie's got to get his right tactics and his right game plan. Let's go and beat Atalanta. Good side, but let's go exploit their weaknesses, go and expose them, take your chances and score your chances. This is another side, mid-table in the Serie A as well. The 8th in the table in the Serie A as well. So teams like this, you've got to be beaten as well in the Champions League as well. And they've got to play in Pinoli before our game, so after obviously the international break as well. Atalanta are scoring 1.5 goals per game, and they're conceding only 1 goal per game as well. That defence is obviously rock solid at the back, and we've got to be on top of it from start to finish. And you've got to really exploit their weaknesses, definitely for sure. Atalanta have won 1, drawn 1 and lost none, so they're obviously undefeated. We've got to definitely perform well in this encounter. We've got to be ready for it. It's not going to be easy. It will be tough, but I think if we analyse them well and go and exploit their weaknesses and be ready for this game, prepare well, we can beat them, definitely for sure. The players to look out for is Musso, Tonoli, Zappacosta, Demiral, Digimisti, if that's right, Gonez, Frela, Dirun, Pesnina, Paslic, Milano, Ovoski, Kopimaris, Ilic, Morel, Miranchuk and Zabata. Hope you guys have enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the video in the next couple of days, and peace.